Hi, welcome to my March wrap-up. March started off pretty strong. I was filming a vlog, which you can watch right here. And this one was basically like a mood reading vlog. It was trying to find a 5-star, but I wasn't really succeeding. So it kind of morphed into just a mood reading vlog. One that I read for that vlog was The Cloisters. I have a project that is slightly medieval monk themed, and this book came up. I was searching cloisters, and this one is a modern day kind of thriller. It is about a woman who gets an internship a little bit oddly. Like, she just gets offered this position and she doesn't necessarily have credentials, but she gets offered it. And so she's like, okay. This one was like a 3-star for me because it moved at kind of a slower pace. It was more of a character piece than a thriller. There wasn't enough meat to the mystery, I think. There was a really cool idea that there's these tarot cards and they're doing a curated display about divination through the ages, focusing on tarot cards, and this main character is noticing some odd goings on between some of the colleagues, then stumbles across one of the tarot cards isn't what it seems. Now, this seems right up my alley because it's got tarot cards. It is set in a place that is oozing medieval history. I did really like the setting for this. It's sort of a little bit academic. Now, it just sort of flopped for me, and you can watch my vlog for more ideas on that one, but I'm glad I got this one checked off my list for my medieval project. I, of course, then finally read The Hod King. And this was amazing. I was expecting it to be, when you put off a book for so long because you know you're gonna love it and you kind of just don't want to like be disappointed. It didn't disappoint at all. Now, Josiah Bancroft does this thing that's a very George R.R. Martin thing, which is he will give you a perspective and you are in it and you are loving it. And then something happens and you turn the page and it's a totally different character. And you're like, I don't want this character. And then 2 pages in, you're sucked into that new character's storyline. And that's exactly what Bancroft does, is that he manages to balance different points of view in such a way that you want to keep reading to the next one. This book at the beginning reminded me a lot of The Grace Keepers, which is a very odd comparison, but there was something in the writing and the sort of themes of circus life and the absurdity of circus life and circus people, and that just like twigged my brain and went, Grace Keepers. There is the thing I like about Bancroft is that he's got so much commentary on our actual world, but he takes it to the absurd level. So people's fascination with other people's downfalls, that is a major focus in this one, and I absolutely loved it. You can watch my vlog for more information, but this is another 5 stars for Bancroft. This is the 3rd book in the Sinless Hens series, and that means I only have 1 more book of the series to go, and then this could be one of my favorite series of all time. It'll be up there, that's for sure. And then just randomly, I put myself on the wait list for Fourth Wing, and it popped up as the skip the line. And I thought, whatever, I'll start reading it and we'll see where we're at. We'll see if I enjoy the writing. Oh my goodness, this book is like crack. It is so fun. It is so enjoyable. And I get it. I totally get it. I made a vlog for this one because I wanted to kind of capture my real time views. And you can check out that vlog because I was a bit more detailed in the reasons that I liked this. This follows Violet, who is sort of thought of as frail by her mother and her sister. And her mother's like a high up ranking, very famous commander of this like dragon academy. And she forces Violet to move from the scribe wing to the dragon rider ring. And I'm not sure, can't remember what the motivation was. She's more of an academic, but then suddenly she starts doing well and she pushes herself, and I really enjoyed it. And it had all my favorite tropes, the like Selena Sardathian throne of glass tropes, the females fighting, and like Alana the lioness and Kel from Tamora Pierce books. Like it was just like all of the lady warrior tropes that I love so much. So this one, I gave it a 4 star because honestly, the romance, it was a take it or leave it for me, and I could have left it, and I still would have enjoyed the book a lot. It added a level of intrigue and suspense, and I get that. Totally get that. But maybe it's just where I am in life, and I just didn't particularly need it. Strong 4 star. And I may or may not be reading the second book right now. Then I read a book that's on my 5 star predictions of the year, and that is the Dead Cattail Assassins. This is P. Jelly Clark, and I am either a hit or a miss with him. I either absolutely love his stuff, or I'm kind of like, you know. And this one was a little bit of a for me, and I think it's because it was difficult to get into at first, but then it was really awesome right at the very end. And I feel like that was the same with his Jin story, that it felt slow to start and then just took off. This was a very cool story about a girl who's undead. She has been, what do you call them? Raised from the dead, and she is now an assassin, and she has to work off her years of penance, I guess, as an assassin. And she's a very well known assassin. She is known, I think, as the Eviscerator, I think was her name, because she kind of just took revenge on this child serial killer, which is cool. But this is also a very fantastical world. So you get the assassin, you get the very fantastical world, you get sort of afterlife that you get pulled into. And it reminded me of such a blend of things. It reminded me of Sabriel going into the other region and working with beings that are not necessarily dead or alive. Also, Justice of Kings, the same kind of eldritch vibes. It also reminded me of, what was that other one? Oh God, what was that other one that it reminded me of? I just thought of it too. I'll put the book that it reminded me of here. And I did really enjoy this one. This is a fairly short read, so it didn't take me too much time to get into it. So that was very good. I would recommend this one for if you really enjoy P. Jelly Clark's writing. I think you would really like this one. Now for a DNF, I was on the cloister train, so I started reading Cloistered, My Life as a Nun, and I was listening to this one, so maybe if I had read it, it might have been differently. I think I got like 35% of the way in, and it was just not engaging me. And I've told myself this year, if things aren't engaging me, I'm gonna put them down. So unfortunately, I had to put this one down. It started off with her entire childhood backstory, and I didn't really need that. I felt like this was sort of a beginner mistake for writing, because we don't need to know the entire childhood before we can get into the meaty stuff, you can do flashbacks or intersperse them or something. I find that's a very old school type of writing. Like sometimes old fantasies will do that. They'll give you the childhood perspective, and then you get them as an adult, and it's just, maybe I'm just rich in my experiences with people seamlessly writing in backstories. This was not it. And it was kind of boring. So it was a DNF. I did not finish it. And the last one that I read, I actually read this at the beginning of the month, and I was reading it while I was doing my mood reading vlog. This ended up being a non-rated book, and that is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius is a very famous Roman Stoic. And I don't know why I put this one on my list as my monkish medieval project. I think I was thinking in terms of medieval thinking and the return to classical way of thinking. I don't know. It somehow got on my list and I somehow took it out, so I did. This is kind of like, you know how you have a philosopher friend and they come up with like all these like really wise sayings, but they're sort of like a one-off? This is like that guy doing that, but then his journal. So he comes up with this really cool way to approach life and he writes it down. And I basically could sum it up as, well, you're going to die anyway, so you may as well. Or you're going to die anyway, so like treat people with kindness. Like there were wisdoms and stuff in there. It was like ways to deal with anxiety and how to treat others and how to work your way up in the ranks and how to approach people professionally and friendship and like create a household. Like it was okay. Yeah, just a lot of like you're gonna die, so why worry? Worth reading. Totally worth reading. I now have that checked off my list. That was my March reading month. My name is Karen. I'm the book Librenaut. I like exploring all different types of books. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.